Coming up in just a couple of minutes, the championship game for the small schools, the NAIA game from the Kemper Arena in Kansas City. The Blue Golds of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, they haven't even been tested in the tournament so far against the Panthers of Birmingham Southern. NAIA next, Tim Brando and Clark Kellogg from Kansas City. See you tomorrow night. So long.
This is Kansas City, a city steeped in basketball tradition. It is here that for 53 years, the James Naismith Award has awaited the champions of the NAIA. Wisconsin-Eau Claire finished a game shy of this game a year ago. Tim Blair knows what it means.
Last year we made it to the Final Four, and we got beaten. It was my goal to get back and play for national championship, and being this my last game, and I kind of control my own destiny.
Birmingham Southern's destiny inside is in the form of Stacy Butler. He's hoping to lead first-year head coach Dwayne Rebold to the promised land.
It's a lifetime dream and goal of every player, every coach. I think that's why you play the game, because you want to win the national championship. Guys, I don't know if you think about it, but before the season began, we'll pick third in the conference. 5 minutes. We'll pick third in the conference, probably 18, 20 games to win, right? And where are we now? We've won 30 games, more games than any team in the history of Birmingham Southern. Won a conference championship, won a conference tournament, won several tournaments. And here we are playing for the national championship. You owe it to yourselves to have fun. That's what we did all year long to play this game.
The Panthers have the eye of the tiger for Coach Dwayne Rebold. The national title's at hand, the NAIA Championship. We're live from Kemper Arena. Hello again, everyone. I'm Tim Brando, along with Special K, Clark Kellogg, and Dwayne Rebold in his first year. An opportunity for the brass ring. What a story that would be.
I tell you what, it would be a great ending to a Cinderella season. Unranked at season's beginning, now playing for the national championship.
We showed you a bit of the youngster in our open. His name is Stacy Butler. He means a great deal to Birmingham Southern tonight.
He's their offensive go-to guy, 22 points, 9 boards a game, averaging 6.3 rebounds in the tournament, but he's the guy who gets it done for him inside, despite only being 6'4", and he's going to have a big game for them to have a chance to win tonight.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Wisconsin-Eau Claire has a true legend in NAIA coaching. Ken Anderson, inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame this weekend. How many coaches have a chance to win a national championship the very weekend they get in the Hall of Fame?
Not many, and certainly Ken Anderson would like to do just that, having been runner-up in this tournament last season.
And when you look at his club, his strength is in the backcourt, and Tim Blair is without question his lead guard.
He certainly is. He's their Elmer's, the glue. He's the maestro, controls the tempo, and that's a very important part of Eau Claire's attack.
32 teams came to Kansas City, only 2 remain. The national championship and March Madness continuing next on ESPN. We welcome you back to Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri, and tonight, Wisconsin-Eau Claire, located near the Chippewa River, and their fine coach is Ken Anderson. 30-3, defeated Georgetown, Kentucky in the semifinals, 76-65. 17 tournament appearance. His best tournament finish was in 72, losing to Kentucky State. As for Birmingham Southern, they defeated David Lipscomb, the top seed in a track meet, 98-96. 6 tournament appearances in all. Their best tournament finish was 86 in the second round under then head coach Joe Dean Jr., who is now a head coach at Central Florida. We're ready now for the starting lineups. With them, public address announcer Phil Hermanson.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineups. Head guard for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, 6'1" senior from Mayville, Wisconsin, number 20, Tim Blair. Head guard for Birmingham Southern, 6'2" senior from Huntsville, Alabama, number 00, Brent Carter. Head guard for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, 6'4" junior from Menasha, Wisconsin, number 30, Mike Prasher. Head guard for Birmingham Southern, 6'2" senior from Birmingham, Alabama, number 24, Fred Martinier. At forward for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, 6'6" junior from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, number 32, Todd Erline. At forward for Birmingham Southern, 6'3" senior from Birmingham, Alabama, number 21, Matt DeFore. At forward for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, 6'7" junior from Phillips, Wisconsin, number 54, Mike Johnson. At forward for Birmingham Southern, 6'4" senior from Whigham, Alabama, number 42, Stacy Butler. At center for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, 6'7" junior from Roberts, Wisconsin, number 40, Lance Carter. And at center for Birmingham Southern, 6'6" junior from Lake City, Florida, number 22, Jack Skipper. The head coach for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, Ken Anderson. And the head coach for Birmingham Southern, Dwayne Rebold.
It has been said that this is the tournament that is the way it used to be, the way it ought to be in Kansas City when we come back. You could say this one is an even matchup. Both teams with identical 30-3 records. Wisconsin-Eau Claire on a tear with 19 straight wins. Birmingham Southern, a great tradition in the Deep South. 8 straight 20-plus win seasons, holding their opponents to 46% from the field in an open court style. And we will see early a 6th man for Wisconsin-Eau Claire that will mean a great deal to the Blue Goals throughout the course of this game.
Dwayne Bushman is the guy you're speaking of, Tim, leading this club in scoring in the tournament at 15 points a game. Really gives them point production off the bench.
Wisconsin-Eau Claire wins the opening tip. Tim Blair runs the show at the point. Picked up by Brent Carter as Birmingham Southern opens in a man-to-man.
We'll see that defense primarily from Birmingham Southern.
The three-pointer is launched by Prasher, no good. And here's Brent Carter on the fly. Too strong. All down by Mike Johnson, and Blair sets up shop again.
Eau Claire will run the motion game in their half court, swinging the ball from side to side, looking to throw it inside, but they've also got capable three-point shooters.
Orline particularly outside. He's looking down low right now. Shot clock is down to 15. This is your typical Eau Claire possession.
They like to milk that shot clock.
Johnson with the head fake. All down by Fred Martineer, number 24 in white. Carter feeds Bailey. Stacy Butler with the hoop. And it's 2-0.
The full court pressure here by the Panthers. They'll try to up-tempo this game. They like to play it on roller skates. They want to get out and run, force Eau Claire into quick shots, and then play the transition game. This guy here, though, Tim Blair, excellent at controlling the tempo, knows when to hold them and when to fold them.
Prasher doesn't get the roll. Well, he consistently runs his defender through picks, doesn't he?
They do a nice job of setting picks and keeping the floor spread.
Butler can't get it to drop. The follow by Skipper. Jack Skipper, the junior from Lake City, Florida, and Florida Community College. 4-0 Birmingham Southern. Just over 2 minutes gone from Kemper Arena. There's a steal by Carter. Carter again on the offensive boards. Jack Skipper looks, finds Martineer. 3-second violation inside, and it goes over to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Quickly, Bushman coming into the game right on cue, as we mentioned earlier. The junior from Valders, Wisconsin. Didn't play because of family concerns throughout the course of the year, and then got into the lineup in January.
Had an injury after starting the first 4 games after his return, and that slowed him a bit, but here lately he's been playing extremely well, 15 points a game.
When we say family concerns, he's a family man.
Married with 2 children.
Well, you see how quickly they get away when Blair has the ball. The defenders know that they need to check him, and his teammates know that he can handle it.
They're very comfortable when he has the ball in his hand.
Bushman uses the glass.
A concern for Southern is the inside play of Eau Claire.
Martineer can't get it to drop. All down by Bushman. Line with a nice entry pass to Bushman again.
That's how he's shooting 69% from the floor in the tournament. Excellent post position. Nice entry pass.
Martineer from far.
Martineer, the stat sheet stuffer for this Birmingham Southern team. He's a guy that's second in assists, second in rebounding, second in scoring. He's their Avis.
He does try harder, doesn't he? Senior out of Birmingham, Jefferson State Junior College, and on the run quickly. Blair feeds Mike Prasher, and he's hacked. Stacy Butler in on the fray, number 42 of Birmingham Southern.
Eau Claire will look for the transition opportunity when it presents itself. That time Prasher showing you his athletic ability, going strong to the goal. Talking to Ken Anderson yesterday, he talked about this guy, Prasher, as being their creative character in more ways than one. He's kind of a loose-spirited, free-spirited type of guy.
Well, in your 22 years of coaching, if you're Ken Anderson, you realize early on you have to have a few of those.
That's right. You need somebody to break the monotony on occasion.
7-5, a 2-point lead for Birmingham Southern. Nice dump down. Matt DeFore is fouled from the backside. Jim Lewis made the call. Picking up the foul is Mike Johnson. Our officials tonight, as you look at Dwayne Rebowl and the Panther sidelines, Jim Lewis, Norm Nelson, and Jim Mike Ward, the referee. As we mentioned, Rebowl in his first year, a New Orleans native and an assistant coach at both Mississippi State and at his alma mater, the University of New Orleans, which, by the way, is playing in the NIT tonight. Tim Floyd's Privateers taking on Mississippi State. So that's something I'm sure he'll be looking for in tomorrow's paper, though Rebowl not concerned about the outcome of that game tonight.
Good man-to-man defense by Birmingham Southern. They'll put pressure on the ball, fight over picks.
Nice look into Bushman. The jump hook too strong. Carter to DeFore. Over the backboard, and Wisconsin-Eau Claire will get it back. Just over 4 minutes gone, and the folks from Wisconsin trailing, looking for their first title for that legendary coach of 22 seasons. With Clark Kellogg, I'm Tim Brando, welcoming you back to the NAIA Championship game on ESPN. From the floor, neither team burning it up. Championship jitters, at least on the offensive end here early.
Well, in any championship game, you're going to have a tendency to, for both teams have the tendency to be a little conservative until they get that jersey full of sweat. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes, and they get the kinks out and the jitters out, and then they're ready to get back to playing the type of basketball they play.
Matt DeFore picked up the foul, hand-checking Blair. I'm interested in your opinion as to the tempo flow in the game, because clearly that's the battle in the first 10 minutes.
You're exactly right, especially with these two teams who have contrasting styles. Birmingham Southern would love to run.
Oh, Bushman, he ran away from the defense there.
Eau Claire showing their ability to execute on the out-of-bounds play, and Bushman with 6 quick points here in just a couple of minutes of playing time.
All 3 field goals for Wisconsin-Eau Claire belonging to Bushman, and Blair kicked it aside, so Birmingham Southern will get the fresh 45. Not that it matters much with the style of offense they employ.
And you know, to get back to your point about the tempo, that's the battle within the battle tonight. Who can dictate their tempo? Who can play the pace they want to play? You know, so often in championship games and big games, one of the complementary players usually steps forward and has a big night. You know what Butler can do, you know what Blair and Bushman can do, but usually somebody on the secondary line of players has to step forward with a solid game.
Again, the dish to Butler, and the star player takes the feed and knocks it home. He has 4. It's 11-7 Birmingham Southern. Now Blair takes the shot. Boy, that's a rare occasion for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Now, could it be fool's gold as the tempo goes Birmingham Southern's way? Yes.
It very well could be, because now Stacy Butler starting to heat up inside.
13-7. Butler with 6, and the lead is 6 now for the Panthers. A steal by Carter in the open floor. Jack Skipper gets it out to Carter. Brent Carter, a good defender, averaging just under 10 points a game, gives Birmingham Southern a 9-point lead.
So clearly the pace in favor of the Panthers.
Oh, he found the seam, did Mike Prasher.
He's capable of that type of creativity. And when you're going to attack pressing defenses, you have to attack to score. You have to put some pressure on the team that's pressing.
Right now, no one can check Butler on the blocks.
He's just getting it in great position and leaning in, using that quickness and explosive leaping ability.
18-9, Birmingham Southern doubling Wisconsin-Eau Claire's output here in the first 6.5 minutes. Erline shot too strong, cleared by Butler. Martinier on the run. Everything dropping for Dwayne Rebold's Panthers. All of Birmingham is pleased as the two coaches from the city that Care forgot confer. It's an 11-point lead. No, that's not a silhouette shot of Pino Cook. It's no mystery, the Butler did it. Stacy Butler of Birmingham Southern.
Well, the Butler is doing it on the box. Nobody can challenge his shot. Quickly to the low post, and then a quicker release. Here he just makes a cut after giving it up, and he's operating effectively on that right box as he takes a quick breather.
Yeah, he's done it so far. He has 8 points, 4 for 5 from the floor, and he'll get the brief blow. They'll go 10-11 deep, Birmingham Southern, because of the style of pace that they like to use during the course of a game.
Pace dictates personnel management.
20-9 our score. Blair set the pick. Looks for Matt Benedict just off the pine. The junior from Columbia, Missouri, and Rockbridge High School. 20-12.
That's exactly what he's in the game for, to stroke the three-pointer.
Knocked away. The pass intended for Scott Webb, who entered the game for Butler moments ago, number 23 in white. It's an 8-point lead with 12.5 remaining in the first half. Tim Brando and Clark Kellogg with you. Happy you joined us for the NAIA Championship. A tradition continuing on ESPN. The dump down. Nice help that time from Jack Skipper, coming over to knock it away from Bushman.
Bushman's been a factor in the low post. When he catches it in there, he's got 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Benedict. Nice work by Prasher off the offensive glass.
Prasher may be their most athletic player. Good hands, good touch, good jumping ability.
20-14 the score. A lead that was once 11 cut in half.
Eau Claire plays a sloughing man-to-man, not a lot of pressure on the basketball.
That's Fred Martinier's spot. A defender must check him there. 22-14 Birmingham Southern.
A good perimeter shooter, and you have to crowd him. Otherwise, he's got space for the J.
Benedict counters.
Well, this guy, Matt Benedict, has made 58% of Eau Claire's three-point field goals.
Matt DeFore comes back with a tray. Clearly, though, the pace being dictated by Birmingham Southern.
Boy, you just stole my thunder, partner. I was thinking that exact thing. The pace, certainly the way Birmingham wants to play. Eau Claire, though, has shown the ability, although they like to control tempo, they've shown the ability to play an up-tempo game. They just have to shoot it well.
Off the glass. Bushman again. He has 8. 25-19, Birmingham Southern by 6.
Eau Claire comes in averaging 81 points a game in the tournament, so they're capable.
Tyrone Mobley, number 11, running the point. Looks for Skipper. Too strong. And the rebound cleared by Benedict. Nice. Look at the transition by Bushman and the foul against Jack Skipper.
Well, the Panthers caught dozing in their transition defense. Blair, head up, finds Bushman, who's behind the pack, and Skipper comes over and commits the foul with the lower body. Good play on the ball up top.
While we've got the moment, Stacey Butler coming back into the game. Clark, for the benefit of those that may be just tuning in, this is the NAIA Championship. We've been here for many years here on ESPN covering this title game. I'd like for you to let the viewers know what really is essentially the difference between the level of play we're seeing tonight and the level of play at the Division I, where we've been accustomed to seeing a number of games during the regular season and, of course, during March Madness.
I think the biggest difference in a simple phrase is the size, the physical size, and the talent of the players is just a notch better at the NCAA Division I level than it is here. You've got a lot of good mid-sized players here in NAIA basketball. You don't see as many good big players.
And the wing jumper connected by Fred Martinier. 27-20 our score. Many a Division I school once played in the NAIA. Hence the number of pros that we see in the NBA that are now from the NAIA. And we've, of course, seen a number of great players in recent years. Orlando Graham, along with Scottie Pippen, Rick Mahorn, and many, many others come from the NAIA.
Terry Porter at Portland. Dennis Rodman with the world champion Detroit Pistons.
Butler on the baseline, and he puts it down.
Well, the Butler is really doing it, isn't he?
Well, he is.
A smooth operator down low. And if he's 6'7", he's big-time Division I player.
Again, the bounce pass to Bushman. It's automatic on the box. Just past Butler. 29-22. Fast-paced opening half, and Brent Carter draws the foul from Blair. I believe they'll wave off the hoop. Blair picks up the foul. That's the first on Blair, 4th team foul. And you see Thane Anderson, number 50, coming into the game for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Mike Johnson sitting down. And the hits just keep on coming from Birmingham Southern. That one was knocked away. The inbounds pass by Eddie Bowman. Just in off the bench already with some production.
Both of these teams go 8 to 10 players deep. And we'll see all of them.
That Tennessee Vanderbilt game you saw earlier on ESPN, and the NIT continues, the oldest postseason tournament in America. Other scores: Penn State on their way. Rutgers against Fordham tonight with a victory. Out of bounds, it will be controlled to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. You're looking at Ken Anderson and Dwayne Rebold, the two head coaches tonight for Wisconsin-Eau Claire and Birmingham Southern. We're live from Kemper Arena. Tim Brando along with Clark Kellogg in the NAIA Championship. That one rolls off for Mike Prasher. Out of bounds and controlled to Birmingham Southern. (31-22), 8:26 remaining. Butler over Bushman.
Well, he's showing us everything, isn't he?
And he goes to his right as well as his left. So well. If you play behind him, you've got a decision to make.
He's had those guys inside on his hip all evening, and he's made them pay.
Prasher much too strong. Anderson clears, and Blair sets up. Knocked away by Martinier. It will be controlled to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Just under 8 minutes remaining in this NAIA title game. Birmingham Southern by 11. A national championship at stake tonight. The NAIA 33-22 our score. Birmingham Southern with the lead. And the race to October will be getting underway soon. We're happy to report. And baseball tonight premieres tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Dave Marish, Ray Knight, and Norm Hitchcock with a conversation with the commissioner and a live interview with Donald Fear. Here an 11-point lead for the Panthers. Just the style of play Dwayne Rebold wanted, the head coach of Birmingham Southern.
And his players have really thrived in this more fast-paced game. Most players enjoy playing an up-tempo game.
Matt Benedict, who's been instant offense since coming in with 6 points, rotates around the zone. Blair negotiates and draws the foul from Brent Carter. Blair as a transfer from Wisconsin Stevens Point. You see him averaging just under 13 points per game. It's interesting when we asked Ken Anderson, his coach, about why he went to Wisconsin Stevens Point. And he said, well, he did not want to compete with his brother. That's him, Mike Blair, who's now a graduate assistant. Both of them coached by their dads in high school. Bob, who's done a marvelous job in Mayville, Wisconsin. And he plays like a coach's son, doesn't he?
He really does. You can always pick out those coaches' sons simply because they have such a feel for the game that only comes with volumes and volumes of repetition.
33-23. Birmingham Southern by 10. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Martineer. Oh, the iron was kind.
Very much so. Martineer, a very creative player, a slashing, penetrating type player.
Carter, Butler, and it won't drop, and Blair clears. The lead is 12.
Eau Claire known for their defense, but they really haven't proven the ability to stop the Panthers from getting any type of shot they want to get in their half-court offense.
Todd Orline with his first deuce. He's a three-point shooter as well, so look for him to air it out from deep before the night is over. The penetration from Bowman. Eddie Bowman, the senior from Woodbury, Tennessee, with 4 points off the Panther bench. Bushman is fouled by Martineer. When we got ready for this game, Clark, both coaches said that they could play both styles, but it was, I think, really interesting that it was Rebold that pointed out, if this man, Ken Anderson, forces us to play the half-court game, we're used to it, because Joe Dean Jr., who exited, had a more half-court style of play, and Rebold knows that his team has won with that pace before.
But if they had to choose, they certainly much more enjoy the up-tempo game, but he was confident and comfortable in the fact that they had proven the ability to settle down in the half court and get good shots. And really, they've had a few transition opportunities or early offensive baskets, but for the most part, they've executed in their half court, getting the ball inside to Butler or Martineer.
You can see with Bowman sitting down, they really do enjoy playing for him, and he stressed that in his pregame speech, which you heard as we got underway tonight. Have a good time. You've earned the opportunity to have an enjoyable time playing for the title.
A very refreshing perspective.
There's a rejection by Prasher, and he'll solo. 37-29, Prasher with 9. The Wisconsin Eau Claire fans want some defense as they begin to chant.
Little zone now by Eau Claire. They've gone to a 2-3, trying to keep the ball out of the paint area.
That one kicked by Blair. He'll debate for a bit, but to no avail. Birmingham Southern will trigger it in. And you see Mann coming out, Eric Mann, who had clocked into the game for a brief time. Matt DeFore has come back in for him.
Claire back to the man-to-man now.
Boy, look at that bounce pass. Tailor-made for Butler. Knocked out of bounds and a foul, the end result against Bushman.
Butler, despite his size, and you wonder how he's able to get 22 points a game, usually going up against guys 2 or 3 inches taller than him. But he does a nice job of sitting down in the post, and he's also very quick and explosive with his offense.
Deflected by Prasher, and the steal for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. A chance to cut it to 6 on this possession. Johnson feeds Bushman. The finger roll goes. Counted and a foul.
Well, I tell you what, Ken Anderson has to be tremendously pleased that this guy decided to come back and play some basketball. Doing a nice job here, just going to make up his mind to go to the baseline. Does so. Webb unable to square away on him defensively. You got to get your foot on that baseline if you're going to deny the drive. He didn't.
37-31, as close as Wisconsin-Eau Claire has been in the last 7 minutes.
Well, turnovers have been a problem the last few possessions for the Panthers. They haven't gotten a shot.
Orline went for the steal. Butler again. The run and jump hook is automatic off the feed from Scott Webb. 39-31. Mike Johnson down on the blocks has it. Good feed to Bushman.
Excellent interior passing that time.
Martinier driving the lane. Equally dangerous with penetration as he is outside.
He really is. He's a slashing, creating type player, and because he shoots the jump shot so well, you have to honor that, and then he puts it on the floor and beats you.
This time it's Johnson that draws the foul. Fred Martinier picking it up, number 24. Talking about Martinier, here's some contact inside.
Johnson inside, Martinier flying through the air from the weak side, and that's one of those make sure fouls. Make him earn it at the stripe.
Johnson leading Wisconsin-Eau Claire in rebounds. This is a very balanced club, this team from Wisconsin-Eau Claire. 5 players scoring in double digits, all of them making solid contributions. As you see the change, Robert Hanna, number 44, coming into the game for Birmingham Southern. Wisconsin-Eau Claire 5 of 10 at the stripe, and they've cut into the Birmingham Southern lead. They trail by 7. The 1990 NAIA Championship, 41-34, Birmingham Southern with the lead. Ken Anderson, one of the true legends, going after his first national title in 22 years. And when you think about it, all of the victories, 529 career, only Tark the Shark achieved 500 wins in college basketball in fewer seasons than Kenny Anderson. And you see Bushman, the leading scorer for Ken Anderson's club, and it is the Butler that's getting it done for Dwayne Rebold on the other side in Birmingham. 41-34.
And those two guys matched up at the defensive end, at Eau Claire's defensive end.
Butler over Bushman. DeFore follows. Kept alive and hauled down by Dwayne Bushman.
That time Bushman with a little body bump as Butler took the shot, bothered him just enough to force the miss.
Johnson pops outside, always looking for the cutter down in the paint. Prasher with a nice cut, but caught in traffic. And the turnover, the end result. Carter knew where Butler was. It won't fall, and Blair kicks it out to Prasher. too strong. And that's another example of Wisconsin-Eau Claire getting caught up in the Birmingham Southern style.
Excellent point. That ball a little low and outside. Prasher not able to handle it.
We asked Ken Anderson yesterday if he was concerned about being caught up in the style, and he said, no, my guys are experienced and I know they can take it and use good judgment. Brett Carter in the lane again to make it a 9-point Panther lead.
Here's the token pressure by Birmingham Southern.
Prasher feeds Mike Johnson.
You know, as a former player, anytime that I was on the floor and a team was pressing with good ball handling and good spacing, you feel like you should get a deuce. You should be able to score, and that's how you have to attack the pressure, just as Eau Claire did there, which pleased Ken Anderson more than the last couple of trips where they turned it over.
43-36, just over 2 minutes remaining until halftime. Skipper, too strong, collected by Hanna. And he's down on the hardwood, and that's a turnover. Goes back to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. We'll take a look at the NAIA All-Americans at halftime. We're only 2 minutes plus away from halftime.
Well, you're seeing one of them put up some big numbers, and that's Stacy Butler.
Speaking of that, we'll have a feature on Central Washington's head coach, which happens to be the son of another legend at the NAIA level, the winningest father-son coaching combination in the country, including NCAA. And it's lost by Erline out of bounds.
Well, that gets Ken Anderson up out of his seat where he's been most of this first half, but his team, a pretty good ball handling team, has turned it over 3 of their last 5 possessions.
Butler. He's only missed a couple of times, and one of those was a putback.
Well, he's getting excellent position. Bushman electing to play behind him.
Benedict to Bushman. 45-38. 1:22 and counting until halftime.
See, oh my goodness. Bushman just shoved Stacy Butler. Well, I guess that's one way to stop him if you're going to play behind him. Here it is. Take a look, folks. The knee, the arms, he used it all.
And then he said, I got a headache. 45-38.
You know, when an offensive player gets you going inside, you have to change your defensive strategy. Dance around him, break contact, let him see something different.
Hanna took steps.
And it's really the same at the offensive end for Bushman. The Panthers playing behind him, and he's able to get the ball where he wants it and knows that they're playing behind him and able to score at will.
Prasher has come back into the game, number 30 for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. And quickly the timeout called by Johnson. That pressure about to bring on the 5-second call. And so they took the timeout. Tim Brando along with Clark Kellogg, happy to have you with us for the NAIA championship game. We mentioned we've had some great games in the past. 2 years ago, I recall being here for a great show put on by Rodney Johns of Grand Canyon College. Paul Westfall went on to become an assistant with the Phoenix Suns. His brother took over that program in the Phoenix area. And Auburn Montgomery and Orlando Graham playing in the same district. Larry Chapman's team that Dwayne Rebo's Birmingham Southern team is in. Don't forget, premiering tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Baseball Tonight. Dave Marish will be your host. He'll be joined by Ray Knight and Norm Hitchkus. A couple of guys that will have a lot to say throughout the course of the year. We look forward to our mammoth baseball schedule getting underway very soon here on ESPN. Good to see the lockout come to an end.
Let's start swinging the bats.
I got my Fungo bat ready. I'll hit you some grounders after the show tonight.
Well, I'm a little more anxious for that real small white ball. That's the one that I want to. That's the one I want to tackle.
The long irons. You're ready to tackle them.
That's right.
The style of play, as we talked about earlier, clearly with Birmingham Southern, are you surprised at all that Wisconsin-Eau Claire hasn't tried to at least hold the ball and use the 45-second shot clock a bit more?
Not really, because they've shown the ability all year long to score points. They've got good shooters. They're good free throw shooters. They execute their offense well. They've got a good inside game. And quite frankly, I think most players enjoy playing an exciting, up-tempo type of game, especially if they've proven that they can do it. And Eau Claire has proven that.
That one nearly turned into a turnover. Good pressure by Carter against Matt Benedict.
Well, I thought that may have went off Benedict's knee on the deflection.
Finally get it into Prasher. Prasher will take it all the way.
Nobody stopped the basketball. Everybody retreated.
45-40. Birmingham Southern's lead dwindling to 5 in the final few seconds of the first half. Wisconsin-Eau Claire will feel pretty good if they're down by only 5 at the intermission.
They come back from a couple of double-digit deficits.
Winning in the semifinal round on Saturday night against Georgetown of Kentucky. And Birmingham Southern beating Bill Hutchinson, the NAIA Player of the Year, and top-seeded David Lipscomb for the second time this year. They also beat them during the regular season.
117-110 in a high-scoring affair earlier this year between those clubs.
DeFore. Oh. Matt DeFore has 8. Blair at the buzzer, and we've come to halftime. Stacy Butler has put on a show. And Birmingham Southern playing the way these guys do in the offseason in that summer league that is so talked about in the state of Alabama. We'll be back with halftime. At halftime from the Kemper Arena, the Birmingham Southern Panthers with a 8-point lead in the NAIA Championship. Hi again, everyone. I'm Tim Brando. Well, you've heard of great father-son coaching combinations at the Division I level. Ray Meyer, Joey Meyer, the Iba family. Well, the winningest active family can be found here in the NAIA. The state of Washington is a place known for many things. Among them, its natural beauty, like that of Snoqualmie Falls and its delicious red apples grown in orchards throughout the central region of the state. However, the central Washington community of Ellensburg is one town that, when the subject of bumper crops and great seasons come up, you can bet that apples are not the topic of conversation. Central Washington University has been playing exciting, winning basketball as far back as anyone can remember. And there is one name that has been the backbone to those years of success. It is that of a man named Nicholson. Well, make that 2 men named Nicholson. It was 1929 when Leo Nicholson took on the coaching duties at Central Washington University. It was a different era back then, one in which coaching basketball was not a full-time occupation.
He was head of the physical education department, also athletic director, coached football, tennis, basketball, of course, all those years, and taught a full load and did just about everything.
Little did he know at the time, Leo Nicholson was laying the foundation for a standard of success that would be alive and well clear into the 1990s. The 1950 season was a breakthrough for the Wildcat Hoop program. With the coach's son, Dean, as the point man, the Wildcats earned their first ever berth at the NAIA tournament in Kansas City. 14 years later, 35 seasons and 505 victories after it all began, the Leo Nicholson era at Central would come to an end, and the Dean Nicholson era was about to begin. The coach's son was now the coach.
I learned the basics from my dad, played for him, and grew up. Was a gym rat from day one, so I had a lot of gym time, a lot of involvement there, and the basics I got from my dad. I owe him for that.
In his first season at the Controls, Coach Dean Nicholson posted a 20-6 mark, and the Cats had earned their second national tournament berth in the school's history. But this time, the trips to Kansas City would become a regularity rather than a novelty. Dean Nicholson is now winding up his 26th year as Wildcat coach in the familiar surroundings of Kansas City's Kemper Arena. The Cats recently clinched their 22nd trip to the Midwest, but Nicholson insists there are no great secrets to his quarter-century of success.
No real magical keys. We want our team to work hard, and that starts on the practice floor, and that's what every coach is after and every team is after, and sometimes it's a lot easier said than done. We want our team to play together.
But in spite of the modest manner in which Dean Nicholson views his accomplishments, the Nicholson numbers tell the story of greatness. Leo and Dean Nicholson are the winningest father-son coaching combination in the history of college basketball, with over 1,100 wins. Individually, Dean Nicholson earlier this year became only the 17th coach in basketball history to win over 600 games. But with all the records to his credit, Nicholson says that personal achievements are not the reason he stayed in the business for this long.
You're not in it for the numbers or anything else. You're in it for the joy of working with great young people, and you're able to still enjoy a great game and be a part of it. And I've been blessed with good enough health to stay in it this long, and had the opportunity to work with a lot of great young men.
Here in Kansas City, the home of Naismith, it's nice to hear about another name named Nicholson that has meant so much to the growth of the sport that began with just an old-fashioned basket. We'll be back. 48-40 our score at halftime. Birmingham Southern leading Wisconsin Eau Claire in the NAIA championship game. Along with Clark Kellogg, I'm Tim Brando. Well, you've seen one half of the NAIA, and anyone that tuned in expecting a half-court game, well, they've been disappointed. We've seen an up-and-down game.
I tell you what, there's good basketball played at this level. I think the biggest difference is the fact that you've got some good mid-sized players, a lot more mid-sized players at this level than you do at Division I. But the up-tempo game certainly being played here in the first half.
And we're going to show you the best of the best. Some of them, of course, with Birmingham Southern. Many others a part of this NAIA tournament. They are All-Americans at this level. David Lipscomb's Phil Hutchison became college basketball's all-time leading scorer Friday night with this, his 4,046th point.
A big-time point producer, the fourth time in as many years that he's been an All-American.
Teammate Darren Henry, a 6'7" senior from David Lipscomb, is also a two-time NAIA All-American. Joe Belling from Belmont, a senior center, last year's NAIA Player of the Year.
29 points a game, 10 rebounds, effective worker inside.
Jay Gittinger, a 6'9" junior from Minnesota Duluth, owns Minnesota records for rebounds and blocked shots. Greg Sutton from Oral Roberts University averaged over 30 points per game this year. Ray Barranco, the 6'4" senior from Southwestern University, the all-time scoring leader there. Willie Davis is something special from Anderson Broadus.
A true power player, 28 points, 10 boards a game, a force inside.
Edgar Leon played on the Puerto Rican Olympic team in Seoul and averaged over 25 points per game. John Holmes of Southern Arkansas, a two-time All-American. Stacy Butler, the man we're watching tonight, inside, he's special.
Only 6'4", but he relies on cat-like quickness and strong moves to the basket to post numbers of 22 points a game and 9 rebounds.
And the coach of David Lipscomb, so long this year, the #1 team in NAIA play, Don Meyer. Our congratulations, of course, to Coach Meyer, the Coach of the Year, and all of the All-Americans. I know, Special K, you can relate to them. You've been there.
That's certainly right. I tell you, these guys play good basketball. The difference only being that you don't have as many good players that can move to the next level from the NAIA as you do at the Division I level.
All right. The NAIA is very proud to be here in Kansas City again. And let's hear from the executive officer of the NAIA.
I'm Jeff Ferris, Executive Director of the NAIA. Colleges and universities today essentially have to choose between two philosophies for their athletic programs. On the one hand, the program can be designed to serve the best interests of the institution, that is, generate income and publicity for the school. The other way to run an athletic program is so that it serves the best interests of the student athlete. This is the guiding principle that governs the National Association for Intercollegiate Athletics. We believe that in that model, the student must understand clearly through the rules and regulations that the primary reason he's in school is to get an education. In the tournament this week, one of the students who participated was Phil Hutchinson of David Lipscomb College. Phil set a record as having scored more points during his career than any student in the entire history of college athletics. He is a straight A student and will go to law school. Christian Okoye, who was the leading ground gainer in the NFL this past season, is a graduate of an NAIA institution at Azusa Pacific University in California. Christian is following a graduate program at the same time he is completing his NFL career. You see, it can work, and it does work. We believe in the NAIA that the important thing is that the student get an education. That may sound idealistic in today's society to some, but we believe that it makes good common sense. We think it's the only way.
Pack your bags and come to KC for the NAIA Championship. That's what these fans have done from Wisconsin and Alabama. And Wisconsin, Eau Claire, and Birmingham Southern, Clark Kellogg putting on an offensive show.
Neither team can stop the other, evidenced by the shooting percentages of both. Everything else just about even.
Leading scorers in tonight's game so far for Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Bushman off the pine in a hurry with 19. Prasher and Benedict also in the column. Butler the story along with Mountaineer outside and Matt DeFore for Birmingham Southern. Birmingham Southern starts the second half with the same starting five. Same for Wisconsin, Eau Claire, short of Bushman, who is in to start the second half and quickly draws the foul from Butler, who is ready to roll the dice tonight.
He's just getting to that low post block whenever he wants to. Here he gets a screen. Excellent screen by Martineer. Gets Butler open, and he's able to lean into the middle of the lane with that soft jump hook and draw the foul on Bushman.
A science major that hopes to go to pharmacy school and open his own pharmacy in his hometown of Wiggum, Georgia, a tiny school just an hour north of Dothan, Alabama.
Also has his eyes set on possibly getting involved in the ministry. Well, a guy clearly with some high aspirations and goals.
51-40. Benedict shot too strong, cleared by Matt DeFore. Martineer in the lane. Johnson with the rebound for Wisconsin, Eau Claire.
Eau Claire's been playing from behind all night long. That has a tendency to take a lot out of you when you're trying to battle uphill.
Bushman. Butler tried to draw the foul, but it didn't work. Bushman with 21, and it's 51-42.
Well, the Panthers just don't have anybody of size to bother Bushman inside. He's able to get it down there and know that nobody's going to challenge his shot. That's a great feeling when you're a low post player, Tim.
Butler right over Bushman, and you begin to wonder when, if ever, some help might be coming from the front. Prasher about to lose his dribble. Puts it in.
Well, obviously the Panthers wouldn't mind trading hoops. Eau Claire going to have to figure out a way to play that tight defense they're known for.
An air ball thrown up by Martineer, knocked out of bounds by Matt DeFore.
In his defense, Martineer's shot partially blocked. Ken Anderson up and about.
Not particularly pleased with the way the first minute and 50 seconds have gone here in the second half. Good dish to Johnson. Credit Matt Benedict with that assist. 53-46, Mike Johnson has 5.
This is where Eau Claire is going to have to do it, though. They've just not been a real factor defensively.
There's a steal right on cue coming from Mike Johnson.
Nice little pinch. Nice help from the weak side by the big guy.
Johnson with a bad pass, looking for Bushman, and some help was there that time from Birmingham Southern. Martineer. And the rainbow rebounded by Wisconsin Eau Claire. Three minutes gone here in the second half. The NAIA title at stake. Tim Brando along with Clark Kellogg. Birmingham Southern with a 7-point lead. Bushman fouled by Matt DeFore.
That time Butler decided to front Bushman. DeFore coming in from the weak side to give some help. Picks up the foul.
Second foul against DeFore, who, by the way, is one of 3 Panthers that are engaged. About to be married. Matt will be married on July the 7th, and his wife-to-be, Jenny Milliken, is here watching Matt play for the national championship. Johnson all alone, and the bank is open late in Kansas City.
Well, he's got to look at the hole. He turned around. Nobody within 4 feet of him.
That was an excuse me hoop.
Oh, no question about it. That was an accident.
53 to 48. Birmingham Southern's lead down to 5.
Kind of like your jump shot.
Yeah. Now the pick from Skipper. Martinier looking down low. Skipper uses the glass, cleared by Blair. Wisconsin-Eau Claire fans now are on their feet, smelling a run from the Blue Goals.
Well, the Blue Goals have tightened up a little bit defensively the last 2 possessions.
Prasher and Benedict fighting for that skip pass. And the shot clock down to 20 on this possession.
And it seems like they're making a more concentrated effort to slow things down and to get into that shot clock a little deeper.
The pull-up, and it's a 3-point game. Wisconsin-Eau Claire outscoring Birmingham Southern by 5 points in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half. Bushman away from the ball, picks up the foul. And again, trying to defend Stacy Butler could cause foul difficulty for just about anyone that Ken Anderson puts down on the post.
He's not what you would call a pure shooter. He's not what you would call a great ball handler. He just finds a way to do it, and he just works at it. And he is truly a great basketball player.
That he is Stacy Butler, 21 points already tonight, and he does it usually with 1 or 2 dribbles maximum, but he's got good explosive quickness and jumping ability, able to score inside.
And his mom Dorothy on hand to watch her son, the senior from Whigham, Georgia. By the way, you mentioned he wants to be a minister. His brother Tim, now an Army minister in Germany, actually got him into the game of college basketball. Brent Carter in the lane, looks for DeFore, who is wide open. There was a push that was caught. Eddie Bowman, the guilty party, number 40, the senior from Woodbury, Tennessee, a defensive specialist. They bring him in as a role player on the defensive end. That time he got caught.
Well, you look at the field goal percentage, and Birmingham Southern has cooled off considerably, while Eau Claire has stepped on the gas pedal a little bit. But Bowman that time in great weak side position. You don't have to push when you're in that good offensive rebounding position.
Benedict shot an air ball, and Bushman retrieves it. And it's cleared by Stacy Butler. That could be a big miss. They could have cut it to 1 there, and they had a chippy. Wisconsin-Eau Claire behind by as many as 12 in the first half. Trailed by 8 at halftime. Butler just won't stop juking, and finally he puts it in. 55 to 50, Birmingham Southern. Bushman, and Butler picks up the foul. It's a block. Now Bushman will lobby for the hoop as well. And he does get it. Interesting.
Butler late getting there. Still slid in though, Tim. He slid in. He wasn't set. Good call. And Bushman able to convert. Bushman having a humongous game.
He doesn't like the call, as, and I understand Rebold's point from his angle, the ball not being launched until after the verticality factor was no longer a question.
That was questionable, but the block call was a good call.
Yes. 55-53. Butler answers in a hurry. Now,
show us what you got, Stacy.
Now, Wisconsin-Eau Claire will argue that, as you put it, the chicken wing was out. Take a look.
Well, this is just excellent work by a guy who's outsized night in and night out. No, the wing's not there. No, the wing was not out as long as it's tight to the body, Tim. If it's tight to the body, look at the numbers by Stacy Butler. We've got 14 minutes to play.
Now, you're absolutely right. That was a clean play for Dorothy Sun. 58-53, Birmingham Southern by 5. But clearly challenged in the opening moments of the second half. And Ken Anderson, the veteran of 22 years, using more time off the clock with every passing possession.
And I think that's smart simply because you use so much energy physically and emotionally trying to come back. And so often you see teams unable to finish the round.
Tim Blair has 5. The leader of the gang for this Wisconsin-Eau Claire club. 58-55. Carter. Cleared by Mike Johnson. He seems to be the player that is most physical for Wisconsin-Eau Claire on the block.
Well, that time he went and got that rebound in traffic.
You see the shot clock, and they're clearly using it a great deal more here in the second half. They average as a team using 18+ seconds per possession.
Well, they're already into that number right now.
Blair. Oh, there's the patience of your true lead guard and your leader.
Well, Ken Anderson ranted and raved about Blair's control and decision making.
Count the hoop. Butler again, and the foul against Johnson. He really does a great job of putting his body in the way when he goes up, doesn't he?
He leans in extremely well and initiates contact, and he's strong enough to finish plays while being bumped. But Eau Claire's going to have to figure out a way to stop him from getting the ball. A scorer in the groove that he's in, you can't allow him to get the ball.
Wisconsin-Eau Claire doing what David Lipscomb did, and that's not doubling him. And he made David Lipscomb pay. He had 39 points against him. And he's on his way to that and then some in this game. Prasher. That one deflected by Birmingham Southern, out of bounds to Wisconsin-Eau Claire.
I think Butler got a hand on it.
Prasher, the leading scorer for Wisconsin-Eau Claire out of Menasha, Wisconsin. But he's not the kind of leading scorer that you'd see on most teams. He's rejected by Butler, and Stacy drew the foul. But this is, again, a very balanced club. Wisconsin-Eau Claire will have different men logging the big numbers game in and game out. And Stacy now has a third with just over 12 to play. And Dwayne Rebold begins to look down his bench. And although he's deep, there are no Butlers awaiting on that sidelines.
No, you'd be hard-pressed to replace what Butler's doing tonight.
Johnson sits down for Wisconsin-Eau Claire, and Thane Anderson back into the game, number 50 in blue.
I think a key for Eau Claire is going to be their ability to make some type of an adjustment with Stacy Butler. He's been the total package here in the second half for Birmingham Southern.
61-59, the Panthers with a 2-point lead. Just under 12 minutes left. Martineer, we haven't heard much from him offensively in the second half. Butler's shot too strong. Matt Benedict comes away with it for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Wisconsin-Eau Claire could tie or take the lead with a three-pointer on this possession. And the question will be, if Birmingham Southern is tied or loses its lead, how will they react?
Usually in a game between two evenly matched clubs, there are going to be a couple of key points, and how you thwart a rally when you're on the lead is one of those significant times.
Blair. Oh, is he special? Only 9 points in the game, but a key possession, he took control. 61 all.
Blair's points always significant. He's that type of player.
Martineer. And the follow by Eddie Bowman, who has contributed very well off the bench for Coach Dwayne Rebold. He has a half dozen. Tempo control clearly with Birmingham Southern in the first half. Wisconsin Eau Claire has wrested it away. Bushman. There's the charge, and that's what Birmingham Southern has wanted all evening long. And finally, it's Eddie Bowman that picks it up. And that's the 4th personal foul against Bushman. 3 against Butler. We'll stay on top of that the rest of the way. 63-61, Birmingham Southern with a 2-point lead. Let's go inside Dwayne Rebold's huddle just moments ago. Here's what he had to say to his team.
Okay, what he wants to do is take it in and penetrate and shoot the jump shot. All right, Fred? Try not to let him get the ball, Fred. Okay, that'd be the easiest thing to do. All right, but everybody, the guy, whoever's going 30 has to help out. Who is 54 in the game? Who just came in the game? 50. All right, 50's in the game. You don't have to.
Tim Blair is number 20, the guy, the marked man for the Panthers, that time able to drive after an isolation play and get the hoop along the baseline. But he's Eau Claire's take charge guy, and he's the marked man for the Panthers defense. Fred Martineer has the assignment of stopping him, expecting to get some help from his teammates.
I love the way Dwayne Rebold put it. Just stay on him. That'd be the easiest way.
Well, just deny him the ball. That takes a lot of work, though, to get up in the passing lane and keep a scorer from getting the ball.
Butler. And that was the play, spreading the floor, getting it inside to him. That's exactly what Dwayne Rebold wanted in that timeout. The communication skills so important, and the first-year coach obviously has control of his team during the timeouts.
Well, he's fun to play for. His system is fun. The kids are receptive and responsive to him, and that makes for a very comfortable situation. That time he called the play 4 out, 1 in, and they found Butler, and he's able to get to the strike.
And again, a team in transition. You see Eric Mann about to come in. He's hearing from his coach right now. The transition from one coach to another. Joe Dean Jr. really helped Dwayne Rebold get the job, recommending him to both the president and the athletic director, Robert Moxley.
Well, Joe Dean certainly left the pantry stocked.
That's right. He will get an assist if they, in fact, do come away with the Naismith Trophy tonight. And again, the pressure. And they're leaving number 40 and number 50 alone. And that's what Rebold wanted, but not Matt Benedict. He is the shooter. It's 64-63.
The designated stroker.
And the foul against Benedict as he goes to his knees. But again, recognizing the shooters and the non-shooters, so important and pivotal in a game like this.
One of those split-second decisions. You have to know where guys are and who can hurt you from what spots on the floor.
Matt DeFore will go to the line. Already Birmingham Southern in the bonus the rest of the way with 9:30 remaining.
Both of these teams pretty good free throw shooting teams. Eau Claire 88% in the tournament. As we take a look at foul-plagued Dwayne Bushman, he's got 4. He's also got a bushel full of points.
And that's the reason Lance Carter, number 40's come into the game, and that's one less offensive option for Wisconsin Eau Claire. 65-63, Birmingham Southern's lead at 2.
But this is the guy they'll look to, Tim Blair. He can create his own shot or get a shot for a teammate. Boy, Skipper doing a nice job on Johnson inside, forcing him out of the paint.
Fighting through picks as well. And the dish inside, and it is Lance Carter on the blocks that makes Birmingham Southern pay.
Dwayne Rebold talked about not guarding Carter on the perimeter, but he's in the paint. The assist goes to Blair, who finds him down low, and Butler picks up foul number 4 as Lance Carter converts inside.
And Dwayne Bushman, the first up off that bench. Happy to see the reinforcement come through, and that means Butler joins Bushman on the pine, his counterpart, with 4 fouls. And it will be interesting to see who takes charge the rest of the way with the 2 stars offensively on the bench.
Well, you have to remember Tim Blair has been voted his team's most valuable player, and he certainly will be the guy that the Blue Golds look to.
Fred Martinier with a huge hoop.
And I think he's the guy, the stat sheet stuffer for the Panthers, Martinier, because he can create his own off the dribble, and he also can shoot the perimeter shot.
He has 15 on that stat sheet right now. Prasher draws the foul. Scott Webb picking it up, the senior from Canton, Georgia. No, they're going to wave it off, out of bounds. It goes over. I thought the foul had been committed. So did some of the fans from Wisconsin. So an overrule that time. I heard a whistle, but that whistle was because the ball had gone out of bounds.
No, the whistle actually was because the foul was called on Prasher, the offensive foul.
And it drew the boos.
There you go.
Prasher picks up a foul this time, and he can't believe it. And I waited to make absolutely certain where they pointed this time. And Martinier comes up limping a bit. Well, 2 fouls that could have gone either way have gone against Wisconsin-Eau Claire in the last 30 seconds. That's the second foul against Prasher.
The block charge, always a controversial call. Prasher a little bit out of control that time in transition. Couldn't quite put on the brakes. And then pushed Webb.
Scott Webb, another married Panther. In fact, he made the statement to his local newspaper while at Cherokee High School. He said, I never knew that it could come in so handy, but my wife Trina has helped me with my homework. It has helped me academically, reestablishing my priorities.
Marriage will sometimes do that.
71-65. Blair uncharacteristically out of control, but again Webb in position to pick up the foul, and this time he does.
This is the guy who's going to take control for the Blue Golds, Tim Blair. Little coast-to-coast action here. Stop and go dribble. Now he's got numbers. Stop and go again to the left hand. And Webb, in pretty good position.
I think that may have been a makeup call.
Well, I'll let you say that.
I'll say it. Because clearly the block charge was the incorrect call, and Ken Anderson made absolutely certain the officials knew it. They're human too, and that may have been exactly what we saw that time.
Certainly aren't perfect.
Oh, a nice follow by Johnson. Johnson again keeps it alive. Well, they play ping pong, and it's out of bounds to Birmingham Southern. And a foul the other way.
The Blue Golds blowing a golden opportunity that time as they banged the offensive glass. It came up empty.
And the foul was called against Lance Carter, and now Bushman gets the call with 7:50 remaining.
Just under 8 minutes, and Bushman with those 4 fouls.
Oh, it's kept alive nicely by Martinier.
He's going to have to be careful.
Carter! Brent Carter with a tray. His second of the game, 74-66. Well, Birmingham Southern has answered the call since Wisconsin-Eau Claire tied this game up. They've come back with a run of their own. Mann picked up the foul against Prasher.
The Panthers, their door has been knocked on, but the Blue Golds unable to kick it in.
And that's so important when you've had the lead throughout a ball game to maintain that lead, although it's been tied. It was tied at 65. And actually, the Blue Golds had an opportunity to take the lead with the free throw that didn't go down. Since then, it's been a 9-1 run.
Brent Carter, underrated as a leader in controlling the Birmingham offense, particularly when they go more to the half-court game.
Solid quarterback.
0-0 at the point in white.
Little spread offense here by the Panthers, showing you their ability to get into the shot clock a little bit.
Joe Dean Jr. would be happy to see this. They have remembered the pass and go away game. Blair got a hand on that. Martineer lost it in midair. That's a turnover. And Dwayne Rebo says that ball was deflected away.
I'd have to agree with him.
6:53 remaining. The turnover gives it back to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. They're down by 8. Dan Patrick, we look forward to Sports Center. There's Dwayne Rebo's lovely wife, Rainey, and his 13-year-old daughter, Nicole, by her side. And I'm sure they'll be waiting for the premiere of baseball tonight after tonight's basketball game. The conversation with Faye Vincent, a live interview with Donald Fear. Dave Marish will be in the saddle hosting it all for you as we get our baseball season on track on ESPN. Ray Knight, along with Norm Hitchcock, will be joining Dave for that debut. Bushman can't get the roll. 74-66. Birmingham Southern tied at 63. Since then, they've taken over. And a steal by Blair.
Boy, nice clamp down by Blair. You like to see your guard step in there when the postman puts it on the floor.
Benedict, not strong enough, follows his own shot, and Johnson not ready for the pass. Good look by Benedict.
It's only a good look if the guy is looking back at you. Now the Panthers really don't have that inside presence, so they've elected to spread it out a little more. And will probably look to Martineer or Carter for penetration.
Carter. Oh, look at the work by Bowman on the offensive board.
Did he want that one? Did he want that one or what?
And quickly aware of the 45-second shot clock, and particularly with Butler on the bench, they're going to use that clock a great deal more. Eric Mann, number 4 from Birmingham, Alabama, as they have spread the floor consistently the last 3 trips with Butler saddled in foul difficulty. You see the shot clock down to 17. This is not their game, but it was a year ago, and they won 21 games with this style of play that they employed a great deal of the time. That one taken away by Bushman. But again, they used 35 seconds of the clock.
And Martineer at 6'2", having a tough time getting the shot off under pressure.
Blair, the remaining constant for Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Bushman keeping it alive. Carter down, spread eagle in the lane, and a foul, the end result. Picked up by Eddie Bowman, his second, and now Butler comes back into the game with 4:29 remaining. Wisconsin-Eau Claire having problems at the line tonight. This is unlike them.
Uncharacteristic. There you see the numbers, 77% on the year. One of the best in NAIA basketball. During the tournament, they've shot 88% from the stripe coming into tonight's game. Only 11 of 18 tonight.
74-68. The Birmingham Southern lead is at 6. Bushman playing with 4 and extending outside. Butler also playing without 4.
Southern going to have to be careful that they don't look to milk too much of this clock. They got the lead and have controlled this game by looking inside to Stacy Butler. And you don't like to go away from your initial game plan too early.
Johnson picked up the foul. He says he was held by Butler that time, pleading his case. And there's no question there's help coming against Butler now.
Butler and Johnson banging, getting to know each other, little do-si-do. Butler stays active, always moving, looking to get that post position. Yeah, I thought that possibly could have been a no call. Some typical paint contact, nothing drastic.
It's a championship game, and it means a great deal to the players. And as the game progresses, the third team that's on the floor becomes a factor. And it'll be interesting to see, particularly with 2 star players with 4 fouls, what happens the rest of the way. Prasher doesn't get the roll, and it's Jack Skipper clearing it for Birmingham Southern. 76-68. They really look extremely comfortable, though, spreading the floor.
They really do. They've got good ball handlers, and then they've got the post threat inside.
Oh, he used every step in his repertoire there, but it didn't go down. 76-68. 3:22 remaining. And Anderson, 22 years the head coach at Wisconsin Eau Claire, had his opportunity at the Division I level, turned it down, wants a title, and Mike Johnson brings him to within 6.
Well, everybody for the Panthers mesmerized by Blair, and they left Johnson unattended underneath. Nice defensive footwork by Blair.
Man. Fred Martineer knocking it in. 78-70. A push. Skipper may have picked it up. Jack Skipper, number 22. I asked Jack about the Birmingham Summer League, which is extremely popular in Alabama. I asked him who played in it this past year. He said, well, Jim Farmer, who played at Alabama and was a first-round pick in the NBA. Orlando Graham, who had a definite chance at making the Olympic team in '88, played for Auburn Montgomery. And, of course, Derek McKee, who's done quite well, thank you, since leaving Alabama.
It's an excellent way to hone your skills during the summertime. Bumping heads and elbows with the likes of those players.
If people wonder why Alabama has been so successful, I mean, in all sides. You look at the players at Auburn Montgomery, Alabama, UAB, and beyond, you could credit the Birmingham Southern League.
There's no question about it. Good summer league competition can go a long way in developing your skills.
In the heat of the summer, it can help you in the spring madness. Inside the Kemper Arena, the 1990 NAIA Championship. Tim Brando, Clark Kellogg, 2:43 remaining. 3 timeouts for Wisconsin Eau Claire, all 4 remaining for Birmingham Southern as they try to protect a 6-point lead. And the possession arrow right now with the Blue Goals from Wisconsin. Now Wisconsin Eau Claire with the token full court pressure.
Well, they want to play good defense, no foul, and rebound the basketball.
Johnson playing behind Butler in the paint.
Well, I don't know if he wants to front him that high.
He may pay the price. He does. 80-72, but that style of defense we've only seen in the second half from Wisconsin Eau Claire where Butler's concerned. 34 points. Bushman follows and puts it in. 80-74, 1:53 remaining. Dwayne Bushman has 28. Every trip, it goes right to Stacy.
He's proven to be the answer, an unstoppable player inside tonight. And it's amazing that at his size, you know, he's a one dribble or no dribble scorer.
Bushman again off the window. 82-76. And the timeout called by Ken Anderson. 1:26 left. The title at hand for Butler and company. 82-76. Birmingham Southern with the lead. 1:26 remaining. Wisconsin-Eau Claire with one timeout remaining after having called their third of this half. And the possession arrow still with Eau Claire. Dwayne Reboll, the head coach of Birmingham Southern, breaking ground. They had only gotten beyond the second round until this season, going for this, the Naismith Trophy, signifying the national championship of NAIA. More than 400 schools and 32 of them get here. The entire tournament takes place here. The last 32 teams representing all the different districts. Districts normally making up an entire state. The state of Alabama represented by District 27. Fans wanted a push on the inbounds pass. And Blair picks up the foul against Brent Carter. Immediately following our game, it's baseball tonight. A conversation with Baseball Commissioner Fay Vincent, a live interview with Donald Fear. Dave Marish will make his debut along with Ray Knight. Look forward to seeing Ray throughout the course of the year. And Norm Hitchkus, a man that will become known for what he has to say between the foul lines throughout the course of the year. On the foul line in this sport, Brent Carter. Oh, a nice offensive rebound and a fresh 45 for the Panthers.
Blue Gold's forced to foul now.
Prasher picks it up against Martineer, and the problem will become, again, we mentioned Wisconsin-Eau Claire, a good free throw shooting team throughout much of this year for Ken Anderson. For Birmingham Southern, a team that shoots well at the stripe as well for Dwayne Reboll. Martineer at a 71% clip throughout the course of the season. That man's come a long way in a short span of time.
Yeah. Icing on the cake type ending to what's been a Cinderella season for the Panthers.
Well, he knows about firsts. He was the first scholarship athlete at the University of New Orleans, a guard for the Privateers in the early 1970s, and a foul with the hoop going down.
And I think that'll finish Dwayne Bowman.
Bushman,
I'm sorry, not Bowman, Dwayne Bushman.
leaves the game with 5.
Eddie Bowman looks like he's going to be at the free throw line.
A great career and a great year for that young man. And he's only a junior.
4 of the 5 starters for the Blue Golds return. Tim Blair, their only senior in the starting 5.
But he will be missed. They'll have to replace him in a big, big way.
His leadership, his clutch play.
He's played all 40 minutes. And they're beginning to smell it on the Birmingham side. 8 points for Bowman off the bench. Well, he really helps you in every way, doesn't he? He's that great complimentary player.
Well, Ed Bowman went the roundabout way to college. He's 28 years old.
Benedict's air ball on the end line, and it goes back to Birmingham Southern. Yeah, he took some time to just decide what he wanted to do in life.
Sometimes that's not all bad.
And again, that's another advantage at the NAIA level as far as eligibility is concerned.
Exactly.
You can be as old as you'd like here in the NAIA. It's keep away the rest of the way for Birmingham Southern. They can't get the foul, can they?
The ball is hopping pretty crisply.
Birmingham Southern with 15 on the shot clock. And finally the foul against Shelton. And they know the title is coming their way.
Oh, it's got to be a great feeling. These guys came into the game with the attitude we deserve to be here and we deserve to have fun while we play for this championship. Now they'll rejoice in their effort.
Tim Blair to the semifinals his junior year, and in his senior season to the championship game. But Stacy Butler and the rest of the Panthers slammed the door again. It was an intentional foul. So DeFore with the 2 free throws, and he'll also trigger it in. 17 seconds remaining, a 9-point game. One and one this time as Carter is fouled. Not a bad year for the state of Alabama in postseason. Wimp Sanderson surprisingly in the Sweet 16 in many people's minds, knocking off Arizona. And of course, Stacy Butler's mom is a happy lady, and all of Birmingham rejoices tonight.
No question about it. They led this one from start to finish, wire-to-wire performance.
Tyrone Mobley is now coming to the game for Wisconsin Eau Claire. As Brent Carter, 1 of 5 on the Dean's list at Birmingham Southern, misses, and it remains 88-78. They have graduated 95% of their student athletes over the years at Birmingham Southern.
I don't know if they have any timeouts remaining.
Yeah, they just used their last one, and of course Anderson just wanted to set his defense. And some substitutions being made so the Stars can enjoy it. Fred Martineer now will smile from ear to ear. And there's Mom.
Nothing quite compares with the feeling of being a champion.
Enjoy the ride, Birmingham Southern. You're the NAIA champions. U.S. News and World Report once said of Birmingham Southern, one of the top liberal arts schools in all of the South. They're proud of the South in Birmingham, not just because of liberal arts, but because of best. The final score, 88-80, Birmingham Southern with the victory. Tim Brando, along with Dwayne Rebo, you got to be awfully happy in your rookie year.
Oh, it's a tremendous year. It's been like this all 7 months. It's just a great way to end that first year.
Well, enjoy the ride. It'll get tougher next season.
Oh, there's no question about it, but we're not going to think about that. We're going to enjoy this.
And the Butler did it for you, right?
Was he amazing or not?
Stacy, let's talk about it. It must be fun hugging your mom over there winning a national championship.
Yeah, she found out last night she was going to be able to come up, and I just want to say hello and thanks to all the people in Wickham, Georgia that made it possible for her to come. And she surprised me this afternoon, and tears just came down. I never dreamed that she would be here to see my last collegiate game.
All right, congratulations to you, Stacy. Birmingham Southern, national champions of the NAIA. For Special K, Tim Brando saying so long. Enjoy baseball tonight. It's next on ESPN.